Chapter 4 to the Flight. Evening begins to fall about the Moon Palace, and you stand at your appointed spot in the dining room while Prince Kieran dines. Your arms ache from holding the heavy wine pitcher as the minutes inch by. Could he eat any slower? It's almost like he's doing it to spite me. While Kieran ignores you as usual, snippets of the conversation you overheard earlier tumble around in your head. Such a sweet girl, but too curious for her own good. I'm not sure how much longer we'll be able to keep Kieran's secret. We must try harder. It's terrible that Ella's in such danger and doesn't even know it. Just when I was beginning to think I could trust them, what are they keeping from me? Why don't you ask them? All the more reason to get away from here as fast as I can. Kieran pointedly holds out his wine glass for a refill. Refill the goblet. I should act normal until I get my chance to run, so he won't be suspicious. You obediently step forward to fill his cup to the brim. Kieran watches you warily as you do, as if ready to snatch your hand if you put one finger out of place. Not plotting the demise of the upholstery tonight, I take it? No, Your Highness. Good. Longclaw enters to clear the prince's used dishes away. Something special for dessert tonight, my prince. She sets down a silver goblet containing a delicate arrangement of pale berries, glittering sugar crystals. Kieran's eyebrows lift slightly in surprise. Berry dessert? It actually does look good. Is there some occasion I'm unaware of, Longclaw? Oh, no. Just that things have been a bit tense about the palace these past few days. And I thought a sweet gesture might be just the thing to lift spirits around here. She sets down a fine silver spoon, nudging Kieran and glancing pointedly in your direction before retreating to the kitchen. What was that about? Kieran lets out a heavy sigh. One hand rubbing his brow, he gestures at the one of the empty chairs beside him. That's what that was about. Sit. Try a bite of this with me. Why? Is it... Alright, fine, we'll do love potion. Kieran snorts. I'm quite sure no or one needs to have a heart in order for a love potion to work. You bristle. Just because I don't desire to be your prisoner does not mean I'm heartless. Just sit down. What is it then? These berries are quite rare. Eating them allows one to call forth a cherished memory, long forgotten, not something immortal often chances upon. Kieran's elegant fingers stroke the stem of the goblet, his brow ever so slightly furrowed. It is a singular experience, one I have not shared in a long time. Eating this lets you relive memories, truly? My kind can't lie, remember? You eye him warily. I didn't even know that until now. Beneath Kieran's usual cold indifference, you sense an edge of tension, almost sadness. This is difficult for him. Perhaps he is really trying to be kind. Well, are you going to join me or not? Share a dessert with Kieran. If you insist, Your Highness. Intrigued despite yourself, you slip uneasily into the fine dining chair beside him, feeling quite out of place. Here. Kieran delicately carves out a bite with a gleaming silver spoon and offers it to you. Let him feed you. You lean forward, watching Kieran closely, and part your lips. His eyes go dark as he guides the spoon into your mouth. His heavy gaze seems fixed on your mouth as you savor the tart sweetness that swirls across your tongue. You swallow, struck suddenly by a strong sense of familiarity. It tastes almost like... As the taste lingers, a fog descends over your vision. This is... You're a child again, nestled in your mother's side. Her arm is around you, keeping you warm against the growing ever-chill. The sweet scent of lavender floats on the breeze. Mama, rest, my love. We've a long journey home yet. You sway side to side in your carriage, rocking nearly to sleep by the gentle rhythm. It's been a long day, and you're tired but content. Papa looks back at you and smiles towards his reins held in his steady hand. Oh, looks like you two had a successful market day. I found a melon as big as my head. He reaches back for a handful of blackberries in the basket beside you. Your mother playfully slaps his hand away. Keep that up and there won't be any left for your birthday, cobbler. Father gives you a sly smile and winks as he pops a berry into his mouth and you giggle. Just the one. Papa, no more. Your mother's sides shake with a quiet laughter. She smiles down at you, her eyes bright and full of love. You can barely keep your eyes open, Ella. Go on, rest. Papa will carry you to bed when we're home. You smile and snuggle in your mother's side, feeling warm, safe, and never imagining feeling any different. Love you, Mama. And I love you, my darling. Your eyes drift close as your mother softly sings a lullaby. Oh, how lovely is the evening, when the bells are sweetly ringing. As the memory fades, you find yourself back in the dining hall with Karen, hot tears blurring your vision. I'd forgotten all about that evening. You blink and Karen's face comes into focus. The night prince's eyes hold a deep and knowing sadness. It was supposed to bring you a memory close to your heart. What did you see? It was a memory of my parents. It was the last time I went to the market with them before they got sick. You wait and gauge his reaction, but he simply listens respectfully. Go on, if you wish. Still filled with the bittersweet emotions of the memory, and feeling more lonely than ever before, you find you do wish to share. It was such a simple thing, a sweet but everyday moment, not something you'd think worth remembering. But it was a moment of unconditional love, a feeling safe and cared for. I took it for granted that I'd always have such things. His attention is rapt, expression unreadable. You probably think me simple, but I don't. I'm only sorry the memory brought you pain. You clear your throat, feeling like perhaps you've given too much of yourself away. A little, but I'm glad to have it back all the same, thank you. Finally, he turns from you. Lifting another bite of dessert to his own lips, he leans back in the chair, expression distant. A memory overtakes him. After a long moment, he sighs, expression softening in a way that brings a sudden pang to your heart. What did you see? The moment I discovered that my first love had chosen another. I was young. I had never courted before. Let fear hold my tongue. That day I sought him out in the garden, determined to make my feelings known. And when I found him there, I saw that I was too late. Someone braver than I had won his heart, and they were happy. Why would you cherish such an awful memory? Like it's that bittersweet. His face hardens again as he regards you, looking as though he'd forgotten for a moment that you were there. Do not pity me, it's been a long time since I cared so much. It's good to remember that I was once capable of such things. Most of the time I can't even recall what that felt like. Prince Karen, you're not as cold as you claim. He scoffs and turns away from you, but before you see the flash of hurt in his expression. You know nothing about it. He abruptly stands, glancing over at a tall window and darkening sky beyond. You're excused for the evening. Yes, Your Highness. You stand and head towards the door, but something makes you pause. And thank you. He doesn't respond, doesn't look away from the window, and you quietly slip back out into the hall. After you and Longclaw have cleaned up the dishes from the dinner, I was going to say diner, she leads you to another section of the palace in a similar state of decay to the rest. Looks like this room has been seen better days. It's just needs a bit of tidying up, that's all. Passes you a feather duster and the two of you set to working, cleaning. The shelves are full of leather-bound tomes and strange trinkets, each one covered in a thick layer of dust. What was this place? Some kind of library? Oh no, dear. The library's in another wing of the palace. This is the parlor. When the prince would have company, this would where he'd be entertain them and take tea. Guess it doesn't much, or get much use these days. Yes, well, we haven't had many visitors in recent years. You're the first in a long time. I'm not exactly a visitor. Well, the closest to one, then. You fall silent, and as you move on to the next shelf, you notice something shiny tucked in the back, lacking the dust that coats everything else in the room. You pick it up, eyes going wide as woven vines of gold and small brilliant gems catch the candlelight. It's a crown. But it can't be a crown, right? So that's where he hid it this year. What? Prince Kieran prefers not to wear the crown during this time as ruler of the Fae. Really? Why not put it on display then? That'd be because he doesn't want to see it. Seems a shame to just gather dust in here. It's been this way for years. In the fall, when Prince Radiance passes the crown to him, he immediately hides it away. He changes the location every year, though normally I'd have found it by this late in the season. Couldn't someone steal it? They'd have to break into the Moon Palace to do so, and with the protections on this place, it's highly unlikely. L'Oncle gently takes the crown from you. Her expression falls as she looks at it. The crown holds a lot of unpleasant history for our dear prince, memories he would prefer to forget. I believe he's only worn it once, back when he was still a child. And when was that? The day his mother was struck down. What happened to her? They were on a hunting expedition. A strange creature caught them off guard. The magic had no effect on it. And when it went for Kieran, his mother took the blow. It tore her to pieces right in front of him. Oh no, that's awful. The servant who had come with them feared someone else might try to claim the throne, so she took the blood-stained crown from her body and placed it on Kieran's head. I remember they came home. Kieran was like a sleepwalker. He didn't even seem to notice the crown until asked about it. Kieran tore the crown from his head and hurled it away like it was poison. From that day he vowed never to wear it again. Longclaw gingerly wipes a tear from her eye with one of her claws. He lost his father not long after that, and the more the family he lost, the bitterer he became. He's the last remaining member of the Night Court now. He has no choice but to rule. Losing his whole family. I know how hard that is. I watched my own parents pass from illness. They were my whole world, and I watched for months as they faded away. Oh, my poor dear. She gathers you in a gentle hug, and you bury your face into her soft fur. It's the kind of memory that never leaves you. Indeed. The prince remembers everything he's lost, and how he lost them. He's honored more death anniversaries than I can count. Maybe we have more in common than I thought. I wish it was something more pleasant, however. Longclaw lets out a heavy sigh and then shakes her head. We'd better put this back so the prince will know where to find it when it's time to pass his route to the Sun Court in a few weeks. She passes the crown onto the shelf and slides it all the way back, exactly where it was before. As she returns to her work, your eyes linger on the crown, imagining the weight of it all. To have lived so long and lost so many, small wonder he's become so cold. All the more reason for me to get out of here before things get any worse. Oh, yeah, okay. That's what you do when someone's hurting. You run from them. Durr! Later that night, you pace anxiously across your chamber, watching the shadows grow longer in the tangled gardens below. If the winged beast could just stay away for one night. But your wish isn't granted. You soon see the creature swoop over the garden like a shadow of death. Damn it all. Its gauzy black form swoops around the palace, disappearing and then returning as if on patrol. But then, it's leaving. At last, the beast banks right, glides away over the forest. You wait for several long, breathless minutes, but it does not return. Now's my chance. But as you make for the door, you hear an unmistakable sound of someone still awake and puttering about on the floor below. And the beast could return at any moment. I'll have to risk it. You go to retrieve your stolen knife from its hiding place under your mattress, slipping its reassuring weight into your boot. I just hope I won't need this. You hurry to the door, but catch sight of yourself in the mirror as you go, stealing your servant's attire. These clothes aren't exactly stealthy. If someone spots me, that'll be the end. I wonder if there's something here more suited to creeping through the shadows. You fling over the wardrobe, rifle through the contents, finding a dark tunic, trousers, and cloak made of shifting silver-black fabric. There must be magic in this. It looks like the more like darkness and moonlight than fabric. Diamond choice. That is a super pretty outfit. You know, it's also black, so, you know, it's me. You quickly shed the servant's attire and pull on the shadowy clothes. If you don't know better, you'd have a hard time seeing your own reflection in the mirror. This will do nicely. You ease open the chamber door and tiptoe down the hall, relying on the mental map you've drawn of the palace during your short time here. There should be a staircase just around this corner that will take me all the way down to the first floor. As you near the corner, you hear Sir Montgomery's heavy boots on the ancient stone floor, headed your way. Peering around the corner, you see him standing down at the end of the hall, holding a single candle to light his way. Drat! He's right in front of the door. The corridor is unlit, thankfully, and you slip from shadow to shadow until you're closer enough to hear Sir Montgomery muttering softly to himself. Perhaps your old ears are playing tricks, Monty. Could have sworn those were footsteps a moment ago. He doesn't even see me at all. But how will I get through the door without him hearing it? I should distract him. Sorry about this, but I need to get through. You reach out and seize the hem of his cape. Whisking it up and around his head, he whirls, trying to free himself and effect a fighting stance at the same time. Who's there? Have at you! Now, you dart forward, slipping past the confused Sir Montgomery and through the door while you still have the chance. Okay, now I just have to get through the kitchen and get to the door I saw in the courtyard. Oh, bother! Oh, I didn't know we were dealing with poo. Bear. Just not that one, you know. A dull clatter from ahead makes you wince as you realize Longclaw must be awake and baking bread for tomorrow. You peek through the cracked kitchen door. Ah, there's only one candle lit, and with this cloak I shouldn't have any trouble slipping past her. As Longclaw sets a tray of rolls on the table and turns back to the oven, you realize you have a chance to keep her distracted for a little while longer. Tap her on the shoulder as I pass, make the rolls into a smiling face. While her back's turned, you slip through the door, quickly rearrange the rolls, and making two eyes and a wide curved grin. It should be harmless enough. You slip away before Longclaw can see you, but not before hearing her startled yelp as she spots your handiwork. Oh dear! Have we got Bogarts in the kitchen again? With her attention firmly elsewhere, it's easy enough to slip out of the open door into the freedom. It went a lot better than I was expecting. The courtyard is dark, quiet, and there's no sign of cruel talons or thrashing black wings. You let a sigh of relief. Now I just have to check out that gate. You hurry to the side of the courtyard, finding the side gate you spotted earlier. You push it hesitantly to find it's unlocked. Wild joy floods you as you slip through the unlocked gate. Close it carefully behind you and take off running into the woods. I made it. I actually made it! You jubilant race home soon slows as the forest grows denser around you. The dark underbrush snags your clothes, cold mud cakes your boots, and a ferocious wind chills your bones. I think I'm going in the right direction. You think, but you don't know. But after what feels like hours of slogging through the unforgiving woods, you really aren't sure where you are. For all I know, I've been walking in circles this whole time. You squint up at the canacomb of trying to catch a glimpse of stars. Okay. A sudden high-pitched scream nearly makes you jump out of your skin. That sounds like a child. You rush in the direction of the sound, heart sinking to think of a village child lost in these dangerous woods at this hour. You draw your stolen knife and grip the handle tightly, its sharp edge gleaming in the moonlight. I won't let this place hurt anyone else. This has hurt people? What? Bursting through a wall of underbrush, you spy a cat-like creature the size of a cougar swatting at a tiny, fluffy bird that swoops and flutters around its head. Okay, I want it. I want it now.
Back, you stupid cat! You dare attack Leaf!
As the bird dive bombs and pecks at the prowling fey cat, dodging the swipes of its paws, you realize the voice wasn't a human child at all. The bird talks?
You think me scared? I'll make your rug for my... Ooh!
But the cat silences the bird with a heavy swat, and the poor beautiful creature drops limply to the ground. Hey, get away from that bird! I should pull the cat's tail, swat it with a branch, use the dagger. No, I'm not gonna stab it. Pull the cat's tail. It reminds me of Jungle Book. You seize the cat's long tail and give it a firm yank. The cat whirls around with an angry snarl and swipes at you, leaving thin, bloody scratches along your arm. Ow! The two of you stare at each other down for a long moment before the cat takes off running into the undergrowth. You let out a long sigh of relief. Thank goodness I didn't fancy having to fight that thing. You approach the beautiful bird and scoop her little body into your hands. She appears unharmed, only stunned. Are you okay, little one? Nothing broken, I hope? You stroke her belly, softer than thistledown. Even in the dim light, her feathers shift colors beneath the scroll-work markings. I need to keep moving, but I can't just leave you here all like this. You're so small. Defend the fey bird, Diamond Choice. Watch over the fey bird. Leave her somewhere safe. Cute. Don't worry, little one. You're safe with me now. You stroke her tiny, soft head and carry her protectively in your cupped hands as you continue through the woods. After a few minutes, you feel the bird flutter awake. She pecks her tiny beak against your fingers.
What doing? Release me at once!
It's okay, you're safe. I won't hurt you. You open your palm to let her perch, and the bird swivels her head all around.
Where's stupid cat? It must pay for crimes.
It's gone. I chased it off. The bird hops around your palm and fluffs her wings indignantly.
Almost had it. Cat cheated.
You were almost dinner. Why didn't you just fly away?
I have fought many stupid birds. Cats fear the sight of Leaf.
Uh-huh. If you say so. I must say, I never met a bird that could talk. Did you say your name was Leaf? Bird flutters off to perch, a nearby toadstool regarding you with a haughty gaze.
I am Leaf, king of birds.
You are... I should shake hands. You offer your fingertip for a tiny handshake. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Leaf. You can call me Ella. Leaf stares quizzically at your finger, then pecks at it. What are you doing out here all by yourself? Are you lost? Leaf hops back and forth on the large mushroom as she speaks.
Not lost. Was returning to the palace when evil cat chased away royal return.
Leaf pauses and examines your hair from you from head to toes, if considering.
Perhaps you could make better royal guard. Current guards obviously weak and bad to abandon king.
Yeah, we're not going to question that. The Royal Guard? Where would I live?
Royal Palace, of course, atop tallest fir tree, very grand.
You can't help but grin at the little fluff ball. I'm quite honored, but unfortunately I must decline. I have responsibilities elsewhere. I am very glad I was able to help you, though, and I hope we can meet again. Leaf rustles her feathers and sighs.
Did not need help.
I'm sure you didn't, but I was happy to do it anyway. Leaf performs an elaborate bow, shimmering wings extended and one long leg behind the other.
Aye, Leaf, king of birds, O life dead to upper humans. I must away to Royal Palace, but shall call upon you again. Farewell, good human.
With a musical twirl, Leaf takes flight. You wave goodbye, and she dips a wing in response before disappearing into the trees. You befriended Leaf, king of birds. Goodbye. Heart a little lighter, you head off again towards what you hope is the direction of home. Maybe you should have asked for directions from the bird first. It's not long before you start an eerie sense of being watched. The undergrowth rustles to your left, and then your right. Luminous purple eyes glint in the bushes all around you. Oh no. Oh, it brought friends. The fey cat you chased off earlier steps in your path, hissing and showing its gleaming, sharp teeth. Another cat slinks out of the shadows behind it, then another and another. Soon a whole pack of wild cats around you, fangs bared in challenge. I see you went and got your friends. You steel yourself as the first cat leaps, claws outstretched. I'm gonna duck and counter. You duck instinctively as the cat sails over your head, and you thrust the knife upward, slashing it across the belly. I'm sorry, right now this is a battle for life or death. As the cats regroup and advance on you in a half circle, you pull Kieran's bamboo ring from your finger. This should keep them all at bay. You throw the ring right at the largest crowd of cats. The moment it touches the ground, massive thorny vines burst out of the dirt, expanding in all the directions. A vine snakes around one of the cat's legs, tightening as the creature tries to pull away. Listen, you left me no choice. The other cats try to leap back, but it's too late. The vines spring up and lash at them, catching on their fur and dragging them back in. Once a vine has a hold, it weaves through their legs, locking them in place as they yowl. And that's what you get for ganging up on me. Giggity. The cats try and bite and slash their way into the rapidly growing thicket, but it's slow going. I've bought myself a little more time. You feel the ring reappear on your fingers. You whirl to face a few remaining cats who are still circling you, poised to strike. At least it's now a fair fight. You stand tall, brandish your dagger, keeping them at a distance. Stay back unless you want to get hurt. But they don't listen. Like most cats. They begin knocking shit off the counter. You know how it works. A cat leaps at you, you roll away, only for another to sink its teeth into your boot. You shake it off, kicking at the creature as you struggle to regain your feet. Fine, let's get this over with. You square off with a rather large cat dagger at the ready. Suddenly, there's a blur movement out of the corner of your eye. What the... Another wildcat tackles you, knocking you flat on your back. It hisses in your face, showing its knife-sharp canines poised to clamber over your throat. For a moment, everything seems frozen in time, then your fists tighten over the hilt of the knife. Get off of me. You whip your arm with all of your might, and the knife slices open a deep gash across the cat's snout. It's in this moment, its wounded surprise. You shove it off of you and slice through the air with the dagger, making the others jump back. I've got claws, too. The cats hiss and swipe, but you manage to hold them off at bay while you get back to your feet. That's right. I'm less easy prey than some helpless bird. The cat shies away and retreats, and the others are closing in fast. There's too many. I have no way I can fight them all. Dread fills you as you realize you're completely surrounded. The fake cat you scared off earlier stalks towards you, ears low and huge fangs bared. Listen, I could give you catnip if you'd like. Its spack-like sponge preparing to leap. Winged beast is here to save the day. With a piercing shriek, the crash of wings from the canopy above, the winged beast dives into the fray. Oh no. The cat in front of you shifts targets and leaps onto the beast's back instead, claws digging into its flank. The beast rips the cat away, only for the others to launch attack from all sides. You scramble back, heart pounding frantically in your chest. It can't possibly beat them all. Hideous yowls and screeches from the cats and beasts rend the air. The beast flaps its wings, sending leaves scattering across the ground and keeping the cats just out of reach. You stand awestruck as one by one the beast tosses the cats aside like toys until they're bloody and limping. As the last attacker crashes to the ground beside you, you're jolted back to reality. What am I doing? I need to get out of here. But before you can make a run for it, the cats scatter into the trees, leaving you alone with the beast. Breathing heavily and bleeding from 100 small wounds, the beast slowly turns until it focuses its huge eyes on you. No, please. You fall back, shuddering in terror, realizing there's no escape now. There's nowhere to run. I can only fight. You brandish the knife, terrified but willing to die. Not willing to die quietly. Come on, then. With a feral cry, the beast surges forward too fast for you to react. But when the claws close over your shoulders, they don't rip you apart. Instead, its hold is almost gentle as it too suddenly lifts you into the night air. What are you... Oh my. With a few flaps of the beast's mighty wings, your stomach swoops as you push through the leafy canopy, and are suddenly sailing over the treetops, held tight in its claws. Shocked, you lose grip of your knife, and it slips from your fingers like a dummy. No! You try to grab it, but the weapon is already beyond your reach, vanishing into the endless trees below. Where is it taking me? Back to some roost where it can eat me in peace or feed me to its young? It's gonna take you back to the castle and probably just flop you into the window. Your fear becomes confusion as the beast dives down and the familiar weathered peaks of the Moon Palace come into view beyond between the trees. It flies through a broken window in the tallest tower, the same tower Longclaw forbade you to enter, and set you down with remarkable care on the stone floor. Please don't hurt me. You scramble away, pushing your back against the cold stone wall, trembling like mad. The beast watches you with glowing eyes. Behind it, the first blush of sunrise begins to creep across the sky. A shiver ripples across the beast's whole body, and then abruptly it begins to change. The creature's massive black wings fold over itself, its form shrinking and twisting before your eyes. Pretty. Who was surprised by this? Who was surprised by this revelation? No, it can't be. The figure straightens, and you find yourself looking into the eyes of... Hey, pretty. What's up, my boy? Kieran? The winged beast and the cold night prince are one and the same. Will you finally learn the truth behind his secrets, or be left in the darkness? Be left in the darkness, hopefully, because, you know, you're a dum-dum to begin with, and you don't realize, you know, the thing. Without further ado, I love your beautiful faces. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down description below, links to social media, Discord if you'd like to support me and my content. Without further ado, are you surprised? Are you as surprised as me? No, you're not. I pretty much called this in, like, chapter 1, I think it was. Literally and figuratively, I think I called it chapter 1 or 2. Let me know what you thought. So, with that being said, love your beautiful faces. Thank you very much for watching. It's very much appreciated that you're a part of this community. Make sure to be so by hitting that subscribe button. And you get a cool little nifty icon next to your name, and you're like, yeah, you know, it reflects your status of this, of the community you're in, you know, that you're a subscriber, and even how long. Pretty cool. And yeah, remember there's a thanks button now. There's also a join button. All those features are pretty cool on YouTube, and they're just a great way of, you know, supporting the channel, supporting this community, and supporting yours truly. Once again, thank you all for joining me, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace out.